death, taxes, and the Boston Red Sox offense. Matt Barnes coming in to high leverage situations and more head scratching losses over the weekend for the Red Sox. Welcome to the Locked On Red Sox podcast. I am your host, NESN's Lauren Campbell, and we have two games to talk about on this lovely Mother's Day. It is Mother's Day. Happy Mother's Day to all the moms out there. And the Red Sox continue to just be an abysmal team to watch. They lost Friday and Saturday to the Chicago White Sox, both very winnable games. So we are going to break down that. We're going to break down the setback Chris Sale and James Paxton both suffered, the move that Alex Cora revealed that Garrett Whitlock will be a member of the Red Sox starting rotation, meaning Tanner Houck will go into the bullpen. We're going to break down this offense. We're going to try to break down this offense or lack thereof and what comes next. So let's get into it.
You are Locked On Red Sox, your daily Boston Red Sox podcast. Part of the Locked On Podcast Network, your team every day.
Today's episode is brought to you by BetOnline. BetOnline has you covered this season with more props, odds, and lines than ever before. That's BetOnline, where the game starts. So, the Red Sox, they are in last place in the AL East going into Sunday's Mother's Day finale. They do play at 11:35 on Sunday. But, man, this team is getting incredibly tough to watch. And I'm an optimistic person. We know this. But watching the Red Sox on Friday and Saturday was terrible. Again, it's this offense that just can't really seem to find its groove. And I think Xander Bogaerts said it best on Friday night. He said, I don't understand how we're playing like this with the people we have in our lineup. And he's absolutely right. You have JD Martinez, you have Rafael Devers, Kike Hernandez, JD Martinez, Trevor Story. You have these players who should be racking up runs, racking up home runs, driving in runs, and they can't. And it's the most mind-boggling thing because I can't exactly pinpoint why this offense can't get into a groove. And I've said before, I've preached patience. They need to stop swinging at the first pitch, but they need to start being more competitive with runners in scoring position because once again, on Friday, they went 1 for 7 with runners in scoring position, 8 men left on base. And on Saturday, it was 1 for 9 with runners in scoring position with 10 men left on base. And there was a chance for the Red Sox to get some insurance runs. They had 2 men on in scoring position with Trevor Story up, and he swung at the first freaking pitch. And what does he do? He just grounds out, ends the inning, ends the threat. And this is exactly what I'm talking about. The patience is not there. Trevor Story did not have to swing at the first pitch. And I know, I'm sure these guys are antsy and they're getting impatient and it's probably driving them nuts. So they see the first pitch they probably can swing at and just go because they're desperate. These are desperation swings. And now the Red Sox find themselves at the bottom of the AL East, worse than the Baltimore Orioles. That's bad. That's really bad because this Red Sox team 100% is better than a 10-18 record. This Red Sox team is so much better than what the offense has shown. And for whatever reason, it's not clicking. And to see the frustration mounting between players, fans, it's mind-boggling. I don't know what the answer is. You can't exactly shake up a lineup. Maybe you could. I mean, you're not going to put Trevor Story in the 9-hole, are you? Maybe. I don't know. I'm not Alex Cora. And on Friday, Jarren Duran was recalled because Kike Hernandez was dealing with flu-like symptoms. Thankfully, the COVID test came back negative, but Jarren Duran was having a lot of success in Worcester. So people were like, oh, maybe he's going to provide a little spark. He did triple. He got on base twice, but then Kike Hernandez came back Saturday. So Duran was optioned back to Worcester, which was the plan the entire time. Jarren Duran was only here to replace Kike Hernandez while he recovered from the flu or whatever he was dealing with. But it's beginning to make you think, should the Red Sox recall Duran to make him a mainstay here for a little while? What about Tristan Cassis? Because Bobby Dalbec is just sitting there with the bat on his shoulder, not even swinging. And then when he does swing, it's at the most non-strike pitches I've ever seen. And I'll never, and I know that we have talked about this so much on the show this season, but the offense never was supposed to be the problem. The offense was supposed to carry this team. They were supposed to put up runs after runs after runs, game after game after game. And it's not working. For whatever reason, this offense cannot get it together. And the starting pitching in particular, has been fine. There's really been no issues of late. Nick Pivetta had a fantastic outing on Saturday. He bounced back from a rough start to the 2022 season. He looked great. Rich Hill has been fine. Rich Hill did test positive for COVID, so he will be out for a little while. Nate Eovaldi has looked like the ace from last year. And Garrett Whitlock has looked good in his starts. Everyone has looked strong for the starting pitching. It's the offense that's not giving them run support, and it's just becoming really, really difficult to watch. But speaking of starting pitching, Alex Cora announced that Tanner Houck would be moving to the bullpen in a similar role that Garrett Whitlock was playing at the beginning of this season, meaning Garrett Whitlock will slot officially into the Red Sox rotation. I went on a big rant about this on Friday's episode that I really believed Garrett Whitlock should be in the bullpen, especially after Friday and Saturday's showing, particularly Saturday's showing from the bullpen. He's so valuable to that pen because he's reliable and he's trustworthy and he can get outs in high leverage situations. Now, yes, of course, it's going to be really nice to see him mow down batters through 5 or 6 innings, but then you lose that arm for the next 5 days. However, if your long-term plan is to use him as a starter, this is the right move. I just wish that he would. I wish there's 2 of them. Chaim Bloom said on Saturday that he wishes that they had a machine that they can clone him, and because they need more of him. But then I'm thinking, like, no, all you had to do, Chaim Bloom, was go out and get bullpen help in the offseason, which was available. There was plenty of bullpen help available, and he didn't get what the Red Sox needed. He got pitchers that the Red Sox can't rely on, and it's biting him in the ass right now. And you have to hold Chaim Bloom accountable at some point, but I digress. Garrett Whitlock will be in the rotation. He will start Tuesday against the Atlanta Braves. I'm excited for his start. I'm excited to see him evolve as a starter. I just think he's so valuable out of the bullpen right now. And I know that the bullpen is not the sole issue here, that you need to get this offense going. But when the Red Sox can only put up 1 run, and you're going to Matt Barnes and Jake Diekman, why? Why are you? Oh my God, I don't know. I don't know anymore. And I like I said, I'm excited to see Whitlock evolve as a starter. That's what he was developed as. That has been the plan, to make him a starter as his career goes on, and you can stretch that arm out. Make sure you're not rushing him after his Tommy John surgery. But you don't have anyone in that bullpen you can trust. Not one person. Why in the world was Alex Cora going to Matt Barnes in a 1-1 game, 1-0 game? It's just unreal. And I know Alex Cora can only do so much with the relievers he has. Who else is he going to go to in that situation? I don't know. But it's not Matt Barnes. Matt Barnes has been so bad this year. He cannot figure his stuff out. It's been bad since the second half of the 2021 season. I don't know. I don't know if he needs to go on the IL for a little while with a phantom injury. He doesn't have anything going for him right now. And the Red Sox need to stop putting him into games because it's not doing him any good. It's not doing the team any good. And now you're at the bottom of the AL East because you have no one in that bullpen, because you have no one who can hit, and you have no one you can trust. And it's becoming increasingly frustrating. It's making me angry. You're pissing off my grandma, which is something you just do not do. And it's May 8th. At what point do we stop saying it's early? They had a shortened spring training. They just need to get their swing there. I think we're past that point at this point in the season. I know we're 30 games in, something like that. The swing should be there by now. These players, save for Trevor Story, are familiar with the Red Sox. There's not a ton of players here who are on a brand new team, getting acclimated with a brand new ballpark, brand new manager. There's just no reason for them to be playing like this. And I do still think they'll turn it around. Now it's just going to be a matter of, will it be too late by the time they do so? God, I hope not, but you never know with this Red Sox team. Coming up in our second segment of the Locked On Red Sox podcast, we're going to talk about Chris Sale and James Paxton, who both suffered setbacks in their rehab from their respective injuries. We're going to discuss that and maybe what that means for the rotation going forward, what that means for both of them. But first, I want to tell you about a BetOnline, because betonline.net is your number one source for all of your betting stats and sports info. Find all the latest sports development, league reviews, and news, including this year's basketball playoffs, Major League Baseball season. And if you're a betting person and if you took Rich Strike yesterday in the Kentucky Derby, then you are a very, very happy person this weekend. BetOnline is your continued source for all your sporting wagering information, from live betting to playoffs, esports, and so much more. Head to the website today or use your mobile device to learn about the trends and the action. That's BetOnline, where the game starts. Thank you for making Locked On Red Sox your first listen. And for your next listen, check out the Locked On Now podcast. Recaps of MLB games with analysis from our local experts taking fans through the season like no other network. It's free and available wherever you get your podcasts. So on Saturday, media got a notification that Chaim Bloom would be speaking at 1:30. And when I get those kinds of things, I'm like, what the hell is this? What move was made? Who's getting shut down for the season? Is he holding himself accountable? So there was two updates that stuck out probably the most, and that was Chris Sale and James Paxton. Chris Sale suffered a stress fracture in his rib just prior to spring training starting, just prior to the lockout ending. So he was set back, and the original plan was for him to come back in early June. And Chaim Bloom on Saturday told us that Chris Sale suffered a personal non-medical issue, non-COVID related, and that it caused him to stop throwing recently. He does plan to start throwing again soon, which is good news. And his timeline isn't too messed up. Instead of early June, they're planning for late June now. And Chaim Bloom didn't go into too much more after that. It was just, like I said, personal non-medical, non-COVID issue. So it's certainly a blow to the Red Sox rotation. It is fortunate that the rotation isn't the big issue right now. That we're not sitting here being like, Chris Sale needs to come back. Chris Sale needs to be the reason this rotation comes back into form. He will certainly provide a boost, and my guess would be that when he comes back, if he is healthy 100%, shows 2019, let's not say 2019, but 2018 form, my guess would be maybe Rich Hill would go to the bullpen, but that is another episode for another month. And I never would have guessed in a million years that Nate Eovaldi's contract extension would look better than Chris Sale's, because Chris Sale is somebody who has proven himself time and time again, and he just cannot stay healthy of late. It's been really it sucks to see, because Chris Sale, when he was traded to the Red Sox, it was such an exciting time. It was a really big boost to this starting rotation, helped win the World Series for the Red Sox in 2018, and now he just can't stay healthy. He had the Tommy John, he's had COVID twice, and now he has this setback here. So it's not fun, obviously, but thankfully the rotation is stable, we'll call it. It's steady, it's stable, and it's not dependent on Chris Sale coming back. Still sucks, but it is what it is. James Paxton, who signed with the Red Sox in the offseason and underwent Tommy John surgery last season, also suffered a setback, and he has just dealing with kind of general soreness in his elbow, not too uncommon after Tommy John surgery. They still have kind of the same-ish timeline for him. They don't expect it to push him back too much. So that's overall, it could have been worse coming out of Saturday with Chaim Bloom's press conference. But nonetheless, it's still maybe help they could use out of the bullpen. Maybe they want to utilize Chris Sale out of the bullpen, James Paxton out of the bullpen, just to get them some extra work before possibly slotting them into the starting rotation. It's a prolonged recovery now. It's a prolonged recovery regardless, but fans are anxious to see Paxton, because you signed this guy who had the chance to not even pitch this season, but you know that he's capable of being a strong, solid pitcher. So you want to be able to see that, especially now. You want to see that sooner rather than later. But you also don't want to rush either of these guys back. You don't want to risk further injury, and you don't want to instill any confidence issues I don't think Chris Sale or James Paxton will have any, but if you're going to slot them into a team that's already struggling when it comes to their bullpen, if you're not scoring runs and you're just leaving them out there to dry, it's not going to be fun for them to return. So hopefully the Red Sox can turn things around before Sale and James Paxton return to the team. I don't know. I don't know. It's going to be a long season if the Red Sox continue to play like this. These bats need to turn on, and they need to turn on. It's faster than ASAP. This is like an SOS, hitting the panic button. Let's go. Just, oh God. Maybe I'm a hypocrite for preaching patience because I'm not a patient person, but holy smoke, stop swinging at the first pitch. Anyway, in our third segment of the Locked On Red Sox podcast, we're going to be doing our mental health minute, as we always do on this show. But first, I just want to tell you about Built Bar because summer is coming, and with summer, you're going to need some food on the go, and Built Bars are the perfect snack to take with you on your family vacations. Throw them in your bag, throw them in your kids' backpacks, and make sure that everyone has a bar so you are fueled for all of your summer adventures. And the best part about Built Bars, they're healthy and delicious. So you don't have to sacrifice delicious food for health. With Built Bar, you can have both. And all Built Bars and their puffs are covered in 100% real chocolate. Built Bar makes sure there is something for everyone. The amount of flavors they have, you will find something everyone in your family will enjoy. Go to Built.com to get all of your favorites: banana cream pie, raspberry, double chocolate, my personal favorite, cookies and cream. And like I said, they're adding new flavors all the time. Head to Built.com and use code LOCKED15 for 15% off your order. That's promo code LOCKED15 for 15% off at Built.com. So as we always do, we're going to end the show on a mental health minute. And I'm super excited for Jake, my co-host Jake Ignazuski, this week. He is in San Diego traveling with the Massachusetts Pirates as they embark on a really fun West Coast road trip. I'm super excited for him. So he will be back later this week. And I'm, like I said, just very excited for him that he gets to live out his dream right now. And today is Mother's Day. Shout out all the moms out there. I know for some people this day can be tough. If you've lost a mom, you're struggling with infertility, or you've lost a child and you want to be a mom, this day can be really difficult for some people. If you are one of those people that are struggling today, my heart is with you. I truly hope you can find some peace and happiness today, even if that means just going outside, or if that means just sitting on your couch in the dark, drowning in reality TV, drowning in a Red Sox game, and just kind of taking time for yourself if you need to today. Shout out to all the amazing moms out there who deal with daughters like me, sons like my fiance. Just kidding. We're all amazing people here. And shout out to especially the Red Sox moms who have to deal with their kids right now being not winning games. You have to win for mom today. That is the goal. The Red Sox have to win for mom today. The Bruins have to win for mom today. And the Red Sox just need to get back in the win column. And please give us Red Sox fans a little bit of hope. But we're going to end this show there. Thank you for making Locked On Red Sox your first listen of every single day. Rate, review, and subscribe to the Locked On Red Sox podcast right here on YouTube, Apple, Spotify, wherever you get your podcast is where you can find us. Also find us on Twitter at LO_Red Sox, Jake at Jake Iggy, me at Lauren, 3 Laws, Lauren with 4 R's. And be sure to check out all the other Locked On shows across the network. Locked On A's, Jays, Yankees, Rays. Everyone does an incredible job. We're super happy baseball is back, even though the Red Sox aren't doing well, but we're all having fun here. And now that you've made Locked On Red Sox your first listen, head on over to Locked On MLB to make it your second listen. Friend of the pod, Paul Francis Sullivan, please call him Sully, brings you his unique perspective on the major leagues, both past and present. It's free and available wherever you get your podcasts. Enjoy your day today. We'll be back Monday to recap what will hopefully be a strong Mother's Day game. Let's go, Red Sox.